Hi and welcome to our Git tutorial. In this video, we'll talk about collaborating with Git branches. Collaborating with Git involves several key concepts and actions, including cloning repositories, pulling and pushing changes, and working with forks and pull requests. Below, I'll provide an overview of each of these aspects. 1. Cloning a repository. To start collaborating on a project, you need to clone the repository to your local machine. Use the git clone command followed by the repository URL. Command: git clone repository URL. The git clone command is used to create a copy of a remote Git repository on your local machine. 2. Pulling and pushing changes. Pulling changes. Before you start making changes, it's a good practice to ensure your local repository is up to date. Use git pull to fetch and merge changes from the remote repository. Command: git pull origin master. This command is a combination of two other git commands, git fetch and git merge. It fetches changes from a remote repository and then merges them into the current branch. Pushing changes. After making changes locally, you need to push them to the remote repository. Use git push to send your changes to the remote repository. Command: git push origin master. In this image, git push origin master command will push the current changes to the master branch in the remote repository. Forks and pull requests. 1. Forking a repository. A fork creates a distinct repository that inherits both code and visibility configurations from the original upstream repository. Forks serve as a means to experiment with and refine ideas or modifications independently before suggesting them for inclusion in the upstream repository. This is particularly common in open-source projects or situations where a user lacks write access to the upstream repository. Forks the repository on GitHub, and then clone your fork locally. Command: git clone repository URL. The git clone command is used to create a copy of a remote Git repository on your local machine. 2. Creating a branch. When working on a new feature or bug fix, create a new branch to isolate your changes. Command: git checkout-b new branch name. This command in Git is used to create and switch to a new branch in one step. 3. Making changes and committing. Make your changes, stage them, and commit them to your local branch. Command: git add. This command is used to stage all changes in the current directory and its subdirectories for the next commit in Git. Command: git commit-m description of changes. This command is used to save the changes you made to the version control history of your Git repository. 4. Pushing changes. Push your branch with changes to your fork on the remote repository. Command: git push origin branch name. This command is used to push the changes made in a local branch to the remote repository. These are the fundamental steps for collaborating with Git, whether you're working on your own or contributing to open-source projects. Keep in mind that branch names and default branch names may vary depending on the project's conventions. Always refer to the project's documentation for specific guidelines.